All right, we are live. Beautiful brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. My name is Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. The content that I'm going to show you right now, we're going to do one of our live streamings where we actually get a full content, but done live for you guys, is the ATF bracing for impact as the SCOTUS lines up a kill shot tomorrow on their ghost gun regulations. This is a big one, people. Send this one out. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. I'm going to walk you through not only what's going down, but also how the gun controllers are seriously praying and hoping that this outcome occurs. And I'm about to show you it right now. Now, as I mentioned, make sure you hit that like button. And this content today is made possible by SDI. Now, I know a lot of you guys like to upgrade and modify your own guns. Why not turn that hobby into a career that you can actually love? They have everything from online courses from ballistics to woodworking and finishes, shooting, sports management, drones. There's something for everybody, and you get to do it from your own home. Everything is shipped directly to your door, and there's a great opportunity for you to turn this hobby that you genuinely love and as a right you are guaranteed into a career. So check it out. There's a link in the description box below, and thank you to them for making this possible. All right. Beautiful people, I am back in the Freedom State, the Gunshine State, and there is so much we got to cover. Starting with this bad boy. This one could be a thing, people. Honestly, send this one out because this is the stuff that we've been working on for several years at this point, you and I together. All right. Supreme Court to weigh legality of Biden administration's ghost guns rule. Now, as you can see, this is published on October 7th. I just highlighted it. Let me show you some of the things that they're going to highlight here of what's actually happening tomorrow, which we will be live streaming the entire thing, so make sure you set that alert on your calendar, so we will be here, in the notification bell on. But let me show you what's happening, and then, more importantly, I'm going to show you what the gun controllers are hoping for. So, let's dive right into this. Washington. The Supreme Court will convene Tuesday to consider a challenge to the Biden administration's efforts to regulate untraceable firearms, known as ghost guns. Now, this is the Vanderstock case that they're going to be hearing tomorrow. What they're going to be basically fighting about is the government can do this or the government can't do this. In specific points, ATF can just make up rules whole cloth. Now, there's some backstory here you have to understand if you're brand new to this. The SCOTUS has already come in and changed the Chevron deference through the Looper Enterprises cases that said the government can't just make up gun control whole cloth from however they want through executive interpretation. When you look at that, you look at the Bruin decision, look at the Rahimi case, you look at everything that's happening, including they just took up the Mexico case for the circumvention of the PLCAA. Lots of stuff. We'll cover all of it. They're leaning in a certain direction. But check this out. The court fight involves a 2022 regulation from the ATF and explosives, of course, that sought to ensure the difficult-to-trace weapons known as ghost guns, they aren't guns, they're just frames and receivers, are subject to the same requirements as commercial firearm sales. Again, the big point here is this watch a gun? It could be one. You never know. Depends what it's going to be. That's the whole argument at hand. The issue before the justices is not whether the Second Amendment rights were violated, but rather if the Biden administration went too far when it issued the rule. If they went too far when they issued the rule, they were like drug junkies on a fiend of control and power against the Second Amendment, if they went too far. You guys know they went too far. They know they went too far, which is why we're going to get to what they're hoping here in a second, because it all ties together, guys. This is why we follow this with such detail. The case may sound similar to one before the High Court in its last term that involved a ban on bump stocks that put in place during the Trump administration. That's the Cargill case. It invalidated the regulation for bump stocks as a machine gun. You guys know that. We covered it. Here's where you start looking at who's going to be wishy-washy and when they start doing horse trading and they start picking off the justices. Check this out. Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Amy Coney Barrett, two members of the court's conservative wing, will be the key members to watch. And I'll get to your comments here in a second because I see you guys are coming in here. Quote, the government has a much stronger case here than the products it challenged or selling should be covered under a plain reading of the Gun Control Act. Again, that's the point. Gun Control Act. We'll cover all of this more in depth later. Said David Pacino, Deputy Chief Counsel and Legal Director at Giffords Law Center, which is urging the Supreme Court to uphold the rule. This product are readily convertible into firearms. That language you're going to hear a lot, readily convertible into firearms, because that's what the ATF used as the reason for the rule. They're readily convertible. That's the whole language. You're going to hear it a lot tomorrow when we stream it. It's all going to be about readily convertible, which means it is a gun based off of an ATF interpretation of existing law, Gun Control Act of 1968. That's where this all ties together. However, it's also where it falls apart because they are stretching thin on this. Let's continue though. I want to show you something really important. This is the actual case, Garland v. Vanderstock. This blue part I've highlighted is the part that the gun controllers are hoping happens. Okay, this is kind of the inside baseball stuff that we're going to talk about. Check this out. Supreme Court issues the decision likely in June 2025. It happens every June. We cover it. Andrew Willinger, executive director of the Duke Center for Firearms Law, said the court's earlier action provides some clues about how the justices may be thinking. Again, Duke Center for Firearms Law. This is a gun control supporting apparatus. Let's keep on going because this is really important for you guys to see where they're coming. Man, that website is being updated. That's why it's jumping around. All right, here we go. Because 4 conservative justices, Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, Neil Gorsuch, and Brett Kavanaugh, noted their opposition to letting the, oh my gosh, good Lord, stop updating everything, letting the ATF enforce the regulation last year, he said it's a pretty clear indication they would vote to uphold the Fifth Circuit's ruling invalidating the measure. And we're going to set up on that for a second. Even the guys who are supporting gun control say the people that we just mentioned, those justices, are more than likely going to support smacking the rule down. Okay? That's why they're doing that. Again, listen to these names. Thomas, Alito, Gorsuch, and Kavanaugh. So those 4. They only need 5. They need this little guy to peel over for it to get invalidated. Okay? Let me continue with this. Quote, that suggests it could be a 5-4 decision upholding the rule, or at least in part, and key votes would be the Chief Justice and Justice Barrett, Willinger said. It seemed like there's more of an intuitive case that these gun assembly kits are firearms in natural parlance. Okay, translation. I'm going to get away from that because it's really bothering me how much that's jumping around. Translation. They're going to, oh my God. Okay, here we go. We're just going to leave it right there. Right there. Don't move. Translation. They're going to try to pick off Amy Coney Barrett and Chief Justice John Roberts. Now, here's the thing. Amy Coney Barrett has been a wild card. We don't know where she's going to go on this. Chief Justice Roberts is wishy-washy, and his main concern is not constitutionality. His main concern is the, what's the word he uses? Support of the court? Not support of the court. It's validity of the court is a close word about it. It's all about the way it's perceived. It's about the reputation of the court. As long as the court is held in good standing, not about constitutionality. No. It's only about if everyone likes us, which is just Chief Justice John Roberts in a nutshell. So if we're going into this case, and this is the part where I'm going to kind of go larger here so we understand what we're dealing with. If we're at this case, and it's going forward for the Vanderstock case, they've already smacked down bump stocks. The Cargill case was a win. The Bruin decision was a win. The Looper Enterprises case was a win. You getting tired of winning yet? I'm not. Let's do more. But if you're talking about Vanderstock, and you've already got 4 justices that have at least leaned toward which way they're going, the best case scenario that the left has is they know that they have 4 against, and they can pick off those 2. They have to run the straight, basically an inside straight. They have to get both of those justices to side with the other 3, Kagan, Sotomayor, and Ketanji Brown Jackson. So those 3 are going to be a for sure no. So right now, as it sits, you got 3 supporting the measure, made up whole cloth by the ATF, and you got 4 against. You got 2 swing votes right in there, Barrett and Roberts. And that's where we're sitting. So guys, make sure you have your notification bell turned on. We're going to stream the entire thing. I'm going to give you analysis right after it happens because this is our rights, people. We've been on a hell of a winning streak, and there's no reason to stop now. Let me know what you guys think if I landed this plane right down there in the comments field, and I will see you on the next one. We have got so much work to do. Later.